I am going to show you how I do this makeup look. It is one of my kind of go-to ways of doing my makeup. It's really simple. You don't have to use a ton of products and you can really customize it and switch out the colors and make it into anything that you want it to be, whether you need to match it for an outfit or you want to wear it out for a night or make it more daytime look. The general technique will stay the same, and the way that I make the shape will stay the same. Behind this, and the reason that I enjoy doing my makeup this way, is because it's kind of a winged shape without any liners. So you kind of still get that lift that you would get from a cat eye, but without the actual cat eye liner, which is nice if you have the kind of eyes that tend to look a little bit sad or tired, if they're not like kind of pulled up for you with your makeup, which is what I deal with. If I don't put any makeup to make my eyes look more like this, they look more like this, and it's just, I'm not a fan. So if that is what you deal with, this might be a very useful technique for you. So I hope it's helpful, and let me zoom us all in and let's get started. I already primed the eye, and I am going to start off with the color Smarty Pants from the Tarte Lit in Bloom palette on a Sigma E40 blending brush, and I'm just going to put that through the crease in order to create a transition shade that will allow the rest of the colors to blend more easily. Next, I am taking the color Fawn from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's one of their single shadows on a Morphe M433 brush. And the shape of this brush allows me to pack the color mostly onto one side of it. So when I put it in the crease and I flip the colored packed side so that it's facing upward, it only places it in the upper half, and then I can flip it over like you just saw and pack that color down onto the outer corner of the lid where I want it, instead of kind of getting it all over the whole lid and through the entire crease. It kind of gives you a little more control. Next, I am taking the same blending brush that I started with and just diffusing out the edges of that color again to make sure everything is blended together. It's sort of a process of going back and forth a million times. It gets a little bit repetitive, but it gets the job. Now I'm going back in with Fawn again, this time on a Morphe M441 brush. And if you notice, I only put the color on the tip of the brush because the rounder brush shape will allow me to place that right to the crease and sort of diffuse it out as I go. And then again, so many times I'm diffusing it out with the blending brush over and over. Still using the color Fawn, I am going in with the Real Technique shading brush just to get a little bit more precise and smooth out any areas where I wasn't completely happy with the way the gradient. Now I'm going to take the color Peacock, also a single shadow from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and a Real Technique shading brush with a little bit of Fix Plus on it. I'm going to pack the color onto that brush and then pat it onto the lid. At this point, I am only doing it in a patting motion and not worrying about blending it out, because I will be blending it out later once I have the color down where I want it to be. And you'll notice that I'm only placing that green darker color on the actual mobile lid, and I'm not really extending it past the end of the eye very much. And that's because I don't want to create a blown out, larger, rounder look. I just kind of want to keep the darker color on the lid and connect it to the lower lash line, which I will do in a moment. I'm also, as you can see, blending through the crease with the same brush that I used Fawn on earlier, just to make sure that that looks smooth as well. Once all the edges have the gradient effect and the shape that I want, I am going to take a pencil brush and the highlighter called Bubbly from the Anastasia That Glow kit, and I am going to tap that on the inner corner of my eye with a pencil brush. I believe this is a Morphe pencil brush that I'm using. And I like to use the same highlighter on my inner corner sometimes that I do on my cheeks, because it kind of makes the whole look well thought out, and it makes more sense that way because everything sort of matches. Now, to connect the bottom lash line into the shape we created on the upper lash line, I am using the same Morphe M433 brush and the color Smarty Pants from the Tarte palette, and I am connecting that blend, and then I am going to repeat the same steps with the color Fawn, and also take a pencil brush and connect the bottom lash line into the color Peacock a little bit later, once I have all of those colors set down and into the shape that I want them to be in.
I'm going to set that down right from about the center of the eye and then out and connect it to the top lid and give it that almondy sort of fleeky feline shape that we are going for here. And then I am obviously going to buff that out with a small brush and blend it, because blending is our best friend, but we want to be very precise here in this instance. Next, I decided to start applying my bottom lash mascara. I used the Clinique bottom lash mascara, and then I used the Benefit roller lash on the top lashes. But once I did that, I decided that I was not happy with how much pop I was getting from the top lid color. So I went in with another product. The product I'm going to use is the Makeup Forever Collodium powder in number 302, which is no longer available, unfortunately. But you can use something similar like Sugar Pill Lumi, I think, would do the job, and there is a Diamond Dust Shadow from Urban Decay that is also very similar. Anything with like a blue-green duochrome shift would give you a very similar effect to this. To finish the look, I am popping on some false lashes. They are House of Lashes Boudoir and Anastasia Dusty Rose Liquid Lipstick.
This will be posted with close-ups and all makeup details on Instagram. I'll also list all the details down below and all that crap. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Periscope. All of those things are at Ms. QuinnFace, and I post 2 to 3 times a week on my blog, most of the time 3 times. That is MsQuinnFace.com. Everything will be linked below. I'll link all the products below. All of the crap that you would expect for me to link below will be linked below. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe because that would be fun. Let's be friends. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.